Okay, it's Saturday, day 12. We're at the Grizzly Discovery Center, and we're going to check it out. It's cold today, in the upper 40s, with the wind blowing. Here we are at the bear exhibit. This one weighs 900 pounds, the ranger said. It's foraging for something. Pretty. Big. There's some more footage of the grizzly bears. There's one there and one over there.
It may be cute, but it's also cold.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a pair of white wolves sleeping in the sun. That there is a golden eagle. There's another one up in the nest. Right up there. Majestic. I think it just took a dump. Did it just do what I thought it did? Last shot of the wolf. That one's awake. Its ears move every now and then as it hears noise. This is the garbage pail exhibit. I guess they test various pails to see which bear proof or not. This might as well be taken in the DeSalvio's backyard. Well, here we are just before 8 o'clock in the evening, and here we are with the snow again. It started snowing about 10 minutes ago, and don't know how long it's going to keep going. The weatherman didn't predict this, but this is so reminiscent of Grand Canyon. So we'll just have to see. If it keeps falling like this for a while, we'll have some accumulation. But I think it's still going to be okay for our trip tomorrow, since we're driving down to Grand Teton. So here we are, almost the beginning of summer, almost the longest day of the year, middle of June, and up here it just summer is a very short season, I guess. That's all I could say. So this is the fitting end to the day, and we will film more probably in the morning. Until tomorrow, adios. Sunday morning, June 10th, here in West Yellowstone, and we woke up again to another dusting of snow, and we're going to be getting ready to head out here pretty quick, another couple of hours. and we'll head on down to Moran, Wyoming for our stay to tour Grand Teton National Park. And the weather should start to get better from here. Today is going to be cold, showery, but then it's going to start to become a little more seasonal for the next few days. So we'll take more pictures and video, maybe as we're going through the park on our way down to Moran. 15, we're driving through the park, and there's a family of elk across the lake, or across the stream, generating a lot of traffic. People taking pictures.
Okay, here's where you can pause.
There,
you have a better view.
there's the elk. There's the elk. It's about
family
12:15. We're here at the Old Faithful parking lot, and we stopped here for lunch, and we want to go to the gift shop and see if we can pick up a couple of trinkets, and then we'll get back on the road and go probably straight through into Grand Teton. The weather, I don't know if you can see it or not on the camera, still freezing rain, occasional sleet, but the roads are dry, very dry up here. So all the roads are open, we'll have no problem getting through. And we saw a lot more bison out today grazing than we saw the previous times. We didn't stop to take pictures, but I guess this kind of weather brings out the bison. Anyhow, we're going to go in, get warm, have a sandwich, do some shopping, and then hit the road again. Here's another female elk just grazing by the side of the road.
Where is it?
Well, we're approaching the exit of Yellowstone National Park. We're leaving through the south entrance, and we had a great time here. So now it's off to Grand Teton National Park, and we'll be there for a couple of days. So the weather is slowly improving as we drop in elevation. Okay, here we are entering Grand Teton, right on the side of 191 South. We're about 25 miles from the camp. Here we are at the north entrance to Grand Teton. We're on US Highway 191, the John D. Rockefeller Memorial Highway, and the couple in the blue car there took a few pictures of us by the sign. We appreciated that very much. And we're about 25 miles from the campground, and we should be there hopefully within a half an hour. Here are the Grand Tetons, but you can't see them because of the weather. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get better shots when the sun is out. The weather is supposed to be better tomorrow. And this is one of the real prime vista points too. It's too bad that the clouds are obstructing the view. But at least the Tetons will have a fresh dusting of snow when the sun does finally come out. Well, greetings from the Grand Teton Park RV Resort in Moran, Wyoming. We're about 6 to 10 miles outside the park boundary of Grand Teton National Park. We drove 105 miles getting here. We got here a little bit after 3 o'clock Mountain Time. Now it's 5 o'clock Mountain Time. And this is a pretty sprawling place. We're parked out on the far end, the western end of the property, which has the best views of the Teton Mountains. We're a little bit delayed getting here because when I last videoed at the Old Faithful rest area, we went in and had lunch, and somehow, some way, I still don't know how we did it, we got locked inside the trailer. We were stuck in there for a while. We were parked way in the back with other RVs, and fortunately, after about 5 to 10 minutes, an elderly couple came along, and we were yelling and screaming, and they couldn't see us inside the trailer, but we finally flagged them down, and I had to take apart a screen to give them the keys to have them undo the lock from the outside, and we finally were able to get out. I don't know what the hell happened. I lubricated the lock mechanism in hopes that that was part of the problem. It is very cold, and we're keeping an eye on it because we don't want to get trapped in there again. That was a funny feeling. Anyhow, I'm coming down to the end of the row where we're parked. Weather is still kind of ratty, but it is supposed to improve. Partly cloudy is the forecast for tomorrow. Chance of showers, and partly cloudy again on Tuesday. We have a nice view though, and supposedly when the sky is clear, somewhere out there we'll have a unobstructed view of the Teton Range. So maybe we'll wake up to that in the morning. Right now all we have are clouds. But we're here, and no TV reception here, no cable. So we're going to have to tough it out. We do have internet, Wi-Fi though, so we'll keep in touch with civilization. But as far as that goes, this is the view out our front door for the next couple of days, the Wyoming countryside. So with that, we'll sign off, and a special message to my nephew Michael DeSalvio, who graduates today with his master's degree. And I can't remember what the master's degree field is, if it's biomed, or I should know that and I don't know it. But congratulations, Michael, well deserved. Chalk off another thing on your list of things to get done before your wedding on December 1st. So from chilly Moran, Wyoming, until tomorrow, take care. Well, good morning from Moran, Wyoming. This is Monday, June 11th. The 14th day of our trip, and the skies have cleared from the bad weather of yesterday. Off in the distance there is the Grand Teton, cloud-free, and I'm at the edge of our RV park looking out over the scenery, and there's a gentleman out there exercising his horse, it looks like. A few horses out there. And the weather is actually quite pleasant right now, even though it was about 32 degrees this morning. It still feels about 50, 55. Might even end up being shirt sleeve weather today. No internet connection still. My laptop isn't recognizing the connection here, and the proprietors of the campground don't seem to be too inclined to try to help me. So there may not be any internet activity for the next 2 or 3 days. We're going to go into the park today, drive the Grand Teton Loop, hopefully take the aerial tram ride up to the top, and hopefully take lots of pictures and some video. And we will film more once we get into the park. Okay, 10:45 in the morning on Monday. We're just headed out of the campground, heading for the Teton National Park, which you can see the Tetons off in the distance there, partially shrouded in clouds. I think we're going to take the north entrance and work our way down south towards Jackson, and then come on back. Okay, here's our first stop. This is the Oxbow Bend of the Snake River in Grand Teton National Park. Water is very still, and there's the vista off in the distance. Here's another view of the vista. We're just turned off onto Teton Park Road. Okay, here we are at the Jackson Lake Dam, going into the river, and the mosquitoes here are about as big as birds. And Elena is petrified of mosquitoes. She hates them, and she's not too thrilled at the moment. Anyhow, we're gonna move on along and see what more sights there are. We're inside the Chapel of the Sacred Heart here in Grand Teton National Park, Catholic chapel. Pretty dark in here. I should have brought the better camera. You're probably not going to be able to see too much. And it's cold in here too. But cute little chapel. They have masses here on Saturday and Sunday. Quick shot of the front of the chapel. Okay, here's another shot from another vista point of the Teton Range. Gentleman here in the white van, he's waiting for the clouds to clear off the peak in the distance before he takes his shot. Beautiful. We're going to have lunch shortly. Okay, here we are at the Mount Moran viewpoint. That's Mount Moran out there. And I'm just going to do a 360 to show the beauty of this place. Those mountains really are spectacular. They don't look real. We're shifting off to the east. Elena in the truck, patiently waiting for me to move along to the south. And then back towards the west and the Teton Range. They just don't look real. I don't know how else to say it. It almost looks like you're looking at a painting. We're headed to Jenny Lake. We're going to hopefully have lunch at a picnic area there with this as a backdrop. And then I think we're going to take a boat ride across Jenny Lake. Here we are again. Can't get enough of it. We're going to take a few still shots too. Okay, here we are, 1:15, right on the bank of Jenny Lake in Grand Teton National Park. We just took a few still shots, and here is our view for lunch. How about that? It doesn't get any better than this. This is what we came for. Fantastic scenery. The weather is great. And we're going to enjoy our lunch. Elena already ate. I've been taking pictures. And now I'm going to grab a sandwich. And we're just going to enjoy Mother Nature. Here we are at the Jenny Lake overlook. Okay, we're taking the boat ride across Jenny Lake, and we're on our way to the other side. Hidden Falls on the other side of Jenny Lake. That's headed towards the lake. And that's headed upstream. And there's one of the peaks up there. We'll get a better look at the peaks. We're here on a boulder overlooking the falls, Hidden Falls. The view is pretty obstructed, but still pretty through all the trees, all the coniferous trees. Let me find Elena. Go ahead, I dare you. What do you want to do? Go on that ledge? You're crazy. Okay, she's crazy, but she wants to go down to that boulder down below there. This might be the last we see of Elena for a while. Hopefully she makes it. Okay, she made it. Now she's got to figure out how to get back up. I can't hear a word she's saying. There's a view of the Teton Peak, and there's a couple other peaks up there, but I didn't go high enough on the trail to see them all. And Elena's down below, about 200 feet below. We're back on the boat. We're going to go back over to the other side. We've been here for a little more than an hour. Weather's getting better by the minute. Just a pan shot from across the other side of Jenny Lake. Looks kind of boring out there compared to the west side. Grand Teton from Jenny Lake. Okay, here's another picture as we approach the south end. Even the bikers are enjoying the view. Just can't get enough of this scenery. I could be here all day. I could shoot pictures and take pictures all day of this. And Elena would let me hear about it all the way. Okay, here we are at the Episcopal Chapel of the Transfiguration. This is at the south end of Teton Parkway, or Teton Lake Drive. We're going to go inside and compare it to the Catholic church that we saw in the north. Okay, here we're inside the Transfiguration Chapel. I think the Catholic one is nicer. Built in 1929.
Represent summer and winter.
Hard to see them. Hard to see with all the glare. Okay, well, we're leaving Grand Teton Park for today. What a great time we had. And we're headed now, I think, to Moose Junction. And then back up to Moran at where the trailer is parked. And we'll have dinner at the trailer tonight. Okay, we're on our way back to the trailer, and this is just one last shot for the day from the Teton Point turnout on US Highway 191. And it's beautiful with the sagebrush plateau in the background, the river in the foreground, the Tetons themselves in the very back. Of course, the lakes are obscured. Just gorgeous. Good morning, Tuesday, June the 12th, and this is day 15. We're starting our third week, and we're heading down to Jackson, Wyoming. We're going to see about maybe dropping Buddy off at the kennel down there for a couple of hours, and then we're going to take the Grand Teton aerial tramway, and then we're going to go into Jackson and spend a couple of hours there just kind of walking around, touring the town. And I think we're going to try to seek out the Cadillac Grill, which was recommended by Anthony and Kristen Morrow. So we'll try to find the place, and perhaps we'll give that a try. We're here in Teton Village. We dropped Buddy off at doggy daycare for about 4 or 5 hours, and we're waiting to take the tram up to the summit. It's going to be leaving in about 5 minutes.
Usually the worst. And other than that, feel free to wander about, take pictures, ask questions, and enjoy the ride, guys. I'll just play a quick informational CD. Just gives a little history and background on the show.
America's finest recreational areas. During the next few minutes, we will rise 4,139 vertical feet and travel nearly 2½ miles to the summit of Rendezvous Mountain. Starting at the valley elevation of 6,311 feet, we travel above forests of aspen, Douglas fir, Mapleton spruce, lodgepole, and whitebark pine amidst a carpet of colorful seasonal wildflowers. Along the way, moose, mule deer, black bear, and many smaller animals are often seen. This aerial tram was designed by Maurice Andrew, an engineer for Garaventa Seatech out of Switzerland, and employs machinery from Austria, Switzerland, the Czech Republic, and the United States. Technically, the system is called a double reversible or jig-back tram, as the cabins always move simultaneously.
And this coming in view on the south side or left here is the number one most in the nation. The number one most run in the nation.
It's getting pretty chilly up here. Okay, here we are at the top of the summit. There's the tram that we just got off of. 10,400 feet, something like that. There's the valley below, looking to the north towards Yellowstone. Jackson Lake is way off there in the distance on the north end. Panning to the north, there's the Grand Teton tip. That's the wind chill. Other peaks over there. And there you have it. There's Elena way down there.
Yeah.
I lost her. There she is.
Yeah, that was a, you know, when I left Colorado.
There she is, waiting for me. I'm going to head on down. We're at Corbin's cabin, looking off towards the Jackson area. There's someone skiing down there.
Yeah.
It's just towards the bottom. Started up at the top.
And jumped off that ledge.
Yeah. This must be where the extreme skiers come.
I guess.
Video there, so.
That's amazing. Okay, the tram is coming back up. We're going to take it down. We were up here for about an hour. The station. Now I'm gonna hop on it. Okay, we're back at the bottom. Nice place here. Very nice place. Ritzy. Okay, now that we're off the tram, we're gonna have lunch at the Mangy Moose Saloon. I'm afraid we're gonna have to pass on the Cadillac Grill, only because we got to go all the way back into Jackson. Buddy is outside of the town limits, so I think we're just going to eat here, then pick up Buddy, then go into Jackson and take a look around the old town area. Here's a panorama of beautiful Teton Village resorts. I guess these are condos, and I'm sure there are timeshares here, and really a very nice place. You can see the tram cable up in the background and going all the way up past that peak. Gorgeous. And the weather's good too, about 70 degrees. Can't beat that. So now I'm going to go in and we'll have some lunch, hopefully outside. Enjoy the good weather. Here we are, downtown Jackson, Wyoming. Just took a couple of pictures under these elk antler arches. Those are all real. We picked up Buddy. Boy, was he happy to see us. I think he thought we abandoned him. So Elena and Buddy are headed towards Cash Street, and the Cadillac Grill is down there somewhere, not too far. Quick panorama of the town. Old western town. A lot of stores, of course. Alright, let's go over to camp. Alright, well it's 5:15 and we're heading out of Jackson Hole, heading back to the campground. And we're just passing by the National Elk Refuge, and there's not an elk to be seen. But maybe before we leave the area we'll see something, maybe tomorrow. So we had an enjoyable day. The tram ride was nice. We were able to get online, take care of some business there at Albertsons. And we spent the last hour and a half or so walking around downtown Jackson. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Ferndale a couple of years ago. Nestled up against the hills with the trees growing, although radically different climates between the two areas, but still quaint. And a lot of art galleries, a lot of expensive stuff for sale there. It tells you there's money here. Resort area. So anyhow, we're going to head back. I think it's leftovers tonight at the trailer. We've got some pasta with vegetables that we made a couple of nights ago. I think we're going to go ahead and finish that up. And I'm going to inquire about getting my trailer and truck washed as we prepare now to head out of the mountainous country and move more into the high desert and more drier, warmer climates starting tomorrow. Well, here was what looks like 3 pronghorn, we think. Although I don't know, they've got big ears. I don't see any horns. They could be white. They could be white-tailed deer also. So the best I could do is get them from afar. They're about 100, maybe 200 yards away from us off the highway. But at least we got to see. These are the first ones we've seen of this. Unless they're also maybe young elk, I don't know. Well, here's some bison also off the side of the road. I've got it zoomed into the max. It's very hard to keep it still without a tripod. But there's a pretty good sized bunch of bison out there. And the birds are always hanging around them. I wonder why. There's a little calf out there. We saw one by itself yesterday. Now we see a bunch. I guess they're constantly on the move. Trying my best to keep the camera steady. Yeah, there's quite a good number out there. Unfortunately, I'm on the opposite side of the road, so traffic is interfering. There's some big ones out there too. Well, this is a fitting end to our stay in the Yellowstone, Jackson, Teton area. There's a little calf running after its mother. There it is. Or just frolicking around. I'm ranging over. Yeah, they're on the move. They seem to be headed south across the grazing lands. And some of them looks like they're taking a little nap. And they're right next to a cattle ranch. There's cattle maybe a quarter of a mile up the road. Beautiful. There's the laggard. Alright, well, Elena's getting nervous. How many times are we going to see bison? But after today, we aren't going to see them anymore. Well, I hope people watching this don't get too much of a headache. Look at that, majestic. The American West. Well, we'll end with it there. Okay, here we are, Wednesday morning. We're heading out of the Teton area, taking one last shot with the trailer in front of the Tetons. My Airstream friends will enjoy this. And we left the campground about 10:15. It's 10:45 now, and we're on our way to Arco, Idaho. Over 200 miles, I forget the exact distance, But weather is good, cool. It's going to be 75 degrees in Arco, Idaho today and tomorrow. So we'll film more from the road, maybe when we stop for lunch or at some other point of interest. 11:45, we're on Idaho State Highway 31 in the Teton Valley, coming out of the Teton Valley. We went over Teton Pass. That was an adventure. 10% grade. I barely made it. Well, I shouldn't say that, but towards the end I had to be in first gear doing 35 miles an hour. But I hadn't seen grade that steep in a long time. Anyhow, now we're in more beautiful country. We've dropped in elevation. I'm only going to guess we're around 5,000 feet maybe. And this is a scenic byway, and we're entering the Targhee National Forest. So we'll stop for lunch somewhere along the way. I'm not sure yet where. Quite honestly, we don't really know where the hell we are. Now we're continuing on Idaho 31, coming into another beautiful valley. We just went over another pass that was 6,700 feet in elevation, but this is beautiful country. Can't really give you much of a panorama because I'm driving, but just gorgeous, gorgeous land. Now we're continuing south on Idaho 31, and now we're in Swan Valley. Again, beautiful countryside. Trying to get a quick view of it while driving, difficult. But very beautiful land that we're going through. And we're coming up on a junction. I think it's going to be US Highway 20, which is the road we're going to take all the way to Arco. And actually all the way to Interstate 84 into Boise. Later in the week. I stand corrected. I earlier said that we were going on to US 20. Actually, we're going on US 26. I couldn't read the small print of the road sign on my GPS. So another 40 miles now on US 26, heading approximately northwest. We stopped at a turnout on US 26. Elena's taking a quick restroom break. And I was being tailgated by several vehicles, so I pulled over. And again, more pretty area. We're right by a river. Don't know the name of the river, but just beautiful country. And that river's moving at a pretty good clip too. So we're going to stop for lunch soon, as soon as we find either a rest area or some sort of civilization point that will enable us to stop. Was the Snake River that we were parked next to. Now we're onto some flat land, and we're back up to 65 miles an hour on US 26, headed now due west for Idaho Falls. And that's where I think we will stop for lunch. And Elena wants to try to find a supermarket there too to do some grocery shopping. So that's our plan. And we probably won't get to the campground in Arco until 3 o'clock, maybe a little bit later than that. Change of plans. No sooner did I log off saying we were going to have lunch in Idaho Falls, we came across a roadside rest stop overlooking the Snake River. So we decided to pull off here for lunch. We're still going to try to go to the market in Idaho Falls though. And on the way down here, some asshole in a U-Haul truck was passing in an area of the road where you don't pass, and I came up on him, and man, my life flashed in front of my eyes. I gave it full brake, and that son of a bitch was able to get back in before I hit him, but that was pretty scary. Here's a quick pan. The wind is blowing pretty heavy out of the west. Wind's been blowing heavy all day ever since we left the Teton area, and the trailer's off there in the distance, and the wind is picking up, so we're going to go in and have lunch. And then well, it's 20 minutes to 3. We're on US 20, passing through Idaho Falls. We're nearing the outskirts of the town, and we've got 65 miles to go on US 20 west to Arco, Idaho. We stopped at a Smith's Food King and did our shopping, and now we're packed up and have provisions to get us all the way back to Sacramento in a week. Okay, we're about 30 miles west of Idaho Falls on US 20, heading west, and every mile we travel, the terrain is becoming more and more desolate and desert-like, and I guess maybe a little moon-like. A lot of lava out here, a lot of lava rocks on the side of the road. There must be atomic sites out here. Again, the Idaho National Laboratory. We just passed it, and you can see out there all the coniferous trees are gone, and now we're back on like a high plain, high desert type of a plateau situation. 35 miles to Arco. We should be there. Hopefully, it's 10 after 3 right now. We should be there by 4 o'clock. Good evening from Arco, Idaho, the Mountain View RV Park in beautiful downtown Arco, Idaho. I didn't realize it, but Arco apparently is the first city in the world to be 100% electrically powered by atomic energy. So obviously with the Idaho National Laboratory 20 miles down the road, it's had an impact on the town here. The wind is finally dying down a little bit. It was blew like hell all day from Jackson all the way through to Arco. We drove 195 miles today, and they were hard miles, let me tell you. The Teton Pass, I was beginning to doubt that I was going to make it over that thing. 10% grade for 4 miles, going straight up. For those of you that remember and know Silent Valley Club down in Banning, the grade to get out of the club back to the highway, imagine something like that for 4 miles. I was in first gear doing, I think, 35 miles an hour by the very end, and I had the pedal to the metal, and that was as good as I could do. But we got over, and then we went through some beautiful country, which I highlighted through some video clips, into a valley, over a little mountain range or some hills, into another valley, gradually dropping elevation. We're now down about 5,200 feet elevation. And then for the last 60 miles, really from Idaho Falls all the way here, we were in a headwind right in our face. And I haven't gotten gas yet, but I would imagine the mileage is going to be pretty poor today. But we're here, and I've got chicken on the fire. Believe it or not, it's for Buddy. I've got hamburgers grilling for myself. Elena had leftover pasta. That's what she wanted for dinner tonight. Tomorrow we're going to the Craters of the Moon National Monument. Don't know what to expect there, but at least we'll be able to say that we saw it. And then we head off to Boise on Friday. So that's it from here. Gonna give a shout out to my sister Linda, who had some surgery today. Hope everything is okay, and I'm thinking of you. Elena's thinking of you. We love you lots, and until tomorrow, take care. Well, yesterday around this time I was shooting buffalo bison from about 200 yards. Now here in Arco, Idaho, across the street from the RV park where I'm staying, I see this 1970-71 Ideal travel trailer, the exact same model that my parents owned, and that we took the one trip that we made to Yellowstone and to Grand Teton in 1971. And funny that that thing would be out here in the middle of nowhere, and I would run into it. But that is the exact same model. The windows towards the front there was the big dining area. There was a bunk right above. That's where Andy used to sleep when we were kids. My parents would sleep down below, and so would Linda and I. Then that middle window there was a dinette, and that also made into a bed when we would have guests. Joe Policano and Viv came one year. Joe farted us out of the trailer practically. Then of course the back door, and the bathroom was in the back. And then there was a big folding door that came out of the back hatch of the trailer, and my dad used to barbecue on that back hatch. It was a big storage compartment there. So again, just for posterity's sake, for reminiscing, I wanted to get a picture of that. Who would have thought? Again, you don't see many of those anywhere. It's weathered and worn. That's why my dad got rid of it back in '76. He said it was falling apart in the yard, and that's what brought about the Airstream, which I still have these 35 years later. So that's it from Arco, Idaho, as the sun is getting ready to set. It's approaching 8 o'clock at night. Good morning. Thursday, June 14th. This is the 17th day of our vacation, and we just left the RV park right around 11, and we're headed the 18 or so miles to Craters of the Moon National Monument. The wind finally died down around maybe 1 o'clock last night, and now the weather is really perfect. Very light winds. 78 degrees is going to be the high. Perfect. We didn't need the heater last night. We were able to leave a few windows open, and a very pleasant evening. So it's a beautiful day in south central Idaho. And when we get to the monument, we will shoot some more. Well, here we are, Craters of the Moon National Monument and Preserve. Elena and Buddy are there, and we're going to take a couple of pictures now. For posterity. Here's the first overlook. We're about a little less than a mile from the visitor center. We're headed that way. And here's just a brief view of the landscape here in Craters of the Moon. Obviously a big lava field out there. And we'll learn more about it once we get to the visitor center and then figure out where to go. We're at the North Crater flow, lava flow. This is one of the youngest lava flows, maybe 2,000 years old. And it came from, I don't know, maybe there. Very interesting place. We'll take some pictures and I'll give you some more history in a minute. Well, what I see when I look at this is free lava rock for my barbecue, but I don't dare touch it. But that's essentially what this stuff is. I mean, this is lava rock for a barbecue grill. We're at the far end of the North Crater lava flow. There are a few monoliths back there, and that is the North Crater. And it erupted 2,000 years ago, and it's due to erupt again. Apparently it goes about every 2,000 years or so. You can barely see the truck way off in the background. We're at the Devil's Orchard Trail, and this is a basaltic lava flow interspersed with various pine trees, I guess. Very interesting scenery. The history on this place, apparently the entire Snake River Basin from eastern Oregon through Idaho all the way to Yellowstone is basically a series of cinder cones as the land over millions of years has passed over the hot spot in the Earth's crust, which currently is Yellowstone National Park. So that's what's created. The first eruptions are on the Oregon-Idaho border, and over millions of years formed the Snake River Valley, and now Yellowstone National Park is sitting on the hot spot. And they expect that to blow up again in several 100,000 years. So it will continue, the path will continue over the millennia. This is the Inferno Cone. There's a half-mile hike up to the top, which is the highest point in the park. We're going to take it and take a few shots and some panoramas. This does remind you of the moon. Not a thing growing on this cinder cone. This hike reminds me of last year at Arches National Park, going up to the Delicate Arch. We're almost at the top. You're on top of the moon. Craters of the moon, that is.
Pictures of the lava flow area out there. Standing on the side of the cinder cone. You can see the paved highway of the 7-mile loop of the park. Hopefully you can see the curvature. Elena must have headed down. Oh, there she is. She's just peeking up over the edge, telling me to come on down. So we're going to go get Buddy. He's staying on here. It's breezy up here. Highest point in the park. I'm going to do a panorama. Hopefully you can hear me. Arco is out that way, between where those people are standing. Over there is where we came in. That's the visitor center area over there. Towards the west. Heavy, heavy wind. Probably can't even hear me. Making our way down. Elena's ahead of me there. Truck way off in the distance. Half-mile hike. All downhill.
Here's back at the car. Buddy sees us. He's starting to bark.
Well, it's 1 o'clock.
1:20 actually. And there's the cone that we just came off of, which I again forgot the name of for some reason. You can see a couple people hiking on it. And after we have lunch, we're going to go and climb up one of these splatter cones, which we took pictures of from on top of the larger cone up there. So far, enjoyable. We opted to stay and have lunch in the car because the wind has picked up and we didn't want to have our lunch blowing around at a picnic table. Well, here's the inside of one of the splatter cones, and you can even see some snow down in the bottom of the tube there.
Snow.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh.
This is the smaller one. The bigger one is there, and we didn't go see that one. We chose to come to this one instead. But pretty interesting. So this is where the lava had spewed out. Who knows how long ago. Again, panorama. Of course, the wind picks up every time I go to film. And then we're going to take Buddy back to the car, and we're going to take that hike. It's another half-mile hike up to, what is it, a caldera up there, or a crater? No? Oh, here we are. We'll see. At the larger cone, splatter cone. And that one goes down a little deeper. There's no snow in that one.
No?
No. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, we're hiking up another trail away from those splatter cones up here where we should have a view of a caldera or some sort of a crater. This is Big Crater. We're overlooking Big Crater. And it is pretty big. About a half-mile uphill hike to get here. There's Elena in the distance. Over there, you can see people on the trail from which we came. And there's another dome over there, lava dome. We'll take a few still shots and then head back down. There's the dome we climbed about an hour ago. You can still see some people on it. Oops, panned the wrong way. There they are, way up there. And then here's this other crater, Big Crater, that we're just coming from. Gonna pan real quick. Wind died down, fortunately. Elena's heading down the trail back to the truck, and there's the lava field out there. We're about halfway through the park. I'm pleasantly surprised with what's here. I'm enjoying myself. Elena is too. So we're going to head now towards the cave section and lava tube section before exiting and heading back to Arco. It's about 2 o'clock. Okay, we're at the far end of the monument now, and we're taking the cave trail. There's a couple of caves and a lava tube out there. You can probably see the people walking along the paved trail to the caves and to the lava tube. And so we're headed out there. Just another quick 360 from the cave trail of the lava bed. Reminds us of Volcanoes National Park in Hawaii on the Big Island. Okay, we're approaching the Indian Tunnel Cave, which really is a gigantic lava tube. And we'll shoot some video once we get inside it. Okay, here I am inside the Indian Tunnel. It's a huge lava tube. I hiked into the bottom. We couldn't take Buddy down here, way too treacherous. There's the tube headed that direction. And it's cold in here. You could feel the cold and the ice and water dripping. Here's a picture of the ceiling of the tube. Very uneven ground in here. And then the tube extends quite a long way. There's an exposed portion where the sunlight's able to come in. And it extends down that way. And I'm not going to walk it because, again, we've got Buddy with us and we could never take him. And I'll just call it quits from here and head back up and let Elena come in and get a few chances at taking a look at. Just a few more feet of film from inside Indian Cave. There's a dome where the sun could come through like a skylight opening. And again, you can hear water dripping. Try to get a better shot of the ceiling. Very interesting. Well, it's 3 o'clock, and down that path there is a path to 2 other caves that you have to have a permit to go in. We came from the Indian Tunnel Cave, which you didn't need a permit to go in. And we have Buddy with us. In fact, Elena is still back at the Indian Tunnel Cave. I have him with me. And we're not going to take the walk down there. We're going to pretty much call it quits. We enjoyed our 3.5 hours here. And I'm going to do one panorama again from the far end of Craters of the Moon National Monument. We enjoyed ourselves here. Lots to see. I'd recommend it to other people. It's off the beaten track a little bit, but worth it. She just came out of the tunnel, making her way back to the truck. There she is. A lot of glare in my viewfinder. I could barely see her. I'm going to hit the road and get back to the truck before she does, so we can get ready some water. Well, good morning. This is Friday, June 15th. I've lost track of the date, but I know it's Friday, the 18th day of our vacation, and we're just passing the Craters of the Moon monument sign and going over some major roadkill. I don't know what the heck that was, but that was big. We left the Mountain View RV Park in Arco at 10:30. We woke up to cloudy skies, surprisingly. I didn't check the weather last night to see what we would find on the way to Boise today, so I have to continue to assume that the weather is going to stay good. No rain threat. Winds are relatively mild, and we're heading southwest on US Highway 20. And sooner or later, we're going to intersect with Interstate 84 and take that into Boise. We're estimating about 190 miles or so today. So right now we're booking along at a good 65 miles per hour, which is the speed limit. And hopefully the road will be relatively flat. I would have to think we'd be predominantly level or maybe slightly downhill the whole way over, but we'll see. I forgot to mention Arco and the Craters Monument are right at 6,000 feet elevation. It's 12 o'clock noon, We've traveled 77 miles, all on US 20, and for the last 40 miles or so, we've been pretty much going on a straight line, heading west, and we're going through a lot of prairie land. We've gone through some farmland, a lot of cattle, not much population. We have about, I'd say, 110, 115 miles yet to go before we get to Boise. We passed the Sun Valley, Idaho turnoff about 20 miles ago. And since we're approaching the halfway point, we're going to look for a spot for lunch somewhere in the next 20 miles. We passed one rest area at the Sun Valley turnoff, but it was too early to stop at that time. And we still have about another 65 miles to go on US 20 before we run into Interstate 84 for the rest of the way into Boise. It's 10 after 1, and we're at the junction of US 20 and Interstate 84. We drove 100 miles on US 20. There was no rest area or any real place to pull over, although it was an intriguing drive. Lots of varying scenery and topography. So it was a nice drive, but as a result now we've traveled 145 miles. We're only 50 miles or so from Boise, but we stopped here at the Pilot Rest Stop, or Pilot Gas Station Center, Truck Center, and we'll have lunch here and then take the last hour leg into Boise. The wind has picked up. The clouds that we had in Arco are way off in the distance, but here to the west and looking to the west, nothing but abundant sunshine. So we'll go in, have lunch, and then get ready to hit the road again. We should be at the campground in Boise hopefully by 2:30, between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, depending how long we decide to stay here and have lunch. Greetings from Boise, Idaho, the Boise Riverside RV Park. 4 o'clock Mountain Time on Friday. We drove 194 miles to get here. Very scenic drive, easy drive, much easier than yesterday. It's 82 degrees here according to the bank thermometer. That was about a block down the road. It feels warmer than that. Light breeze blowing. We had a good trip here. Stopped more than halfway down. Only had another 50 miles or so to go after we had our lunch break at the Pilot RV truck stop. And we got here to this park. Not a bad park. Looks like it's by the fairgrounds. There's a fairground near here, and over on the left, where all those trees are, is the river, the Boise River, which I haven't had a chance to go take a look at yet. Got everything set up, put the awning out, then just coming back from the gas station, paid $3.75 a gallon, and only 87 octane. That's the lowest octane they had available for $3.85, I think I said, and I'll take that. Aside from that, everything is going well. We got 9 miles to the gallon, about 9.1 actually, and that was pretty good. Again, weather was relatively mild, the terrain was relatively mild, a few hills here and there, but like I suspected, it was predominantly downhill. This RV park here seems to have a lot of long-term residents, just based on the condition of the sites and the RVs. You can tell kind of which ones have been sitting here for a while and which ones are just passing through. But it will do for our needs for the next 2 days. You could see some bleachers in the foreground, and like I said, we're butted up right against some sort of a fairground. I don't know if it's the state fairground or county fairground or rodeo ground or whatever, but maybe I'll figure it out before we leave. So, much to our disappointment, there is no cable TV here, at least not in the sites that I'm occupying. and I see people with their antennas up on their rigs, so that tells me there's no cable here, and my TV cable is broken. So we're going to have to go a couple more days without television. So much for watching the US Open. I'll have to just listen to it on my mobile device, I guess, and see how things go. And we're down here towards the back of the park. You'll see the trailer off in the distance there. And I think I'm with some predominantly short-term travelers. These people here are short-term. The tent trailer is obviously short-term. And that motorhome next to us also short-term. So we're going to go inside. Elena's inside taking a nap, reading her book, having a few snacks, her usual thing. And I'm going to go inside, cool off, get on the computer. I'm assuming they have Wi-Fi here. I didn't even ask when I checked in. And see what to do in Boise for the next 24, 36 hours that we're here. So we'll fill you in on that part of it a little bit later. Okay, it's about 5:30 in the evening on Friday, and I took the approximately 75-yard walk from our campsite over here to the bank of the Boise River. And you can see the river as it passes through there, moving at a fairly good clip too. And we have to come through trees and some foxtails to get to it, so Buddy's not with us. But this is pretty, and apparently some fly fishermen come out here and try their luck, see what they could catch. Well, good morning. Saturday, June 16th, day 19 of our vacation, and we're here in downtown Boise, Idaho, right in front of the state capitol building. And downtown Boise reminds me a little bit of Sacramento. Buddy's over there with Elena and another dog. They're making some commotion. But the downtown area, kind of similar to Sacramento in a way. There's the Capitol Park here that I'm standing in, waiting to cross the street. Turn of the century homes, early 20th century homes, state office buildings, has that same general feel or vibe. Elevation here at Boise is 2,600 feet, which is also interesting because I also have, I'm reminded a little bit also of, I don't know, feels a little bit like Hemet. It might even have a little bit of a Vegas feel. And Elena there, I guess, is trying to ring that damn bell. Unbelievable. She's got a thing about bells and clappers. So, anyhow. Well, a nice lady from out of the blue just walked up to me, offered to take our picture in front of the bell. She's from Elko, Nevada. They have a condo here. They come 2 weekends a month. They love it. Elena went inside the Capitol building. I'm going to go in there now as well and take some pictures inside. Okay, here we are inside the Idaho State Capitol building rotunda. Main entrance. No security to get in here. And there's the dome. You see a little spiral staircase to get all the way up to the top of it. American flag. We're on the second floor. Looks like it's a 4-story building. And Attorney General's office is straight ahead. There's the first floor. Now we're on the 4th floor, looking in through the House of Representatives State House gallery. And there's the chamber down there. We're looking through a bulletproof glass. And very beautiful building with the natural dome skylight. Building's just been renovated recently. When we're on the 3rd floor, we'll see if we can get maybe a better peek inside the chamber. Okay, now we're on the west side of the building and in the Senate gallery, overlooking the Senate chamber. Obviously a smaller body. Beautiful chambers, though. Here's the view from the ground level of the house chamber.
Maybe you could walk off with the furniture.
Elena was just commenting, absolutely no security in the building whatsoever, unlike California, where you gotta go through a damn metal detector to get inside its Capitol building. And here's a quick view of the ground level of the Senate chamber, state of Idaho legislature. Beautiful building, prettier than California's Capitol in my opinion. And here's a quick snap of the governor's office, state of Idaho. Butch Otter is the governor. Well, we're finished with our tour of the state capitol. Interesting building, beautiful building, fairly bland in terms of interior color, lots of stone and marble, white and gray. Just recently renovated. They did similar here to what they did at Washington, D.C. at the U.S. Capitol, and they dug underground and built a huge room down underground. Conference rooms, legislative caucus rooms, all kinds of good stuff. Interesting place. We recommend people stopping by to see it. Easy access. Now there's a big street fair here. I think we're going to head for that.
Water?
Well, half a block from the RV park, just got gas, and we stumbled upon this place, Pastry Perfection, and man, they had everything in there.
You never know if they're good. You don't know if they're good.
It looks good. We bought a couple of donuts and a Danish, and we'll find out tomorrow morning how good it really is. But with a name
tomorrow morning?
With a name like
I think it's more like this evening.
Well, maybe tonight. With a name like Pastry Perfection, it's got to be good. Well, good evening here from the Boise Riverside RV Resort. It's a pleasant Saturday night, 8:30, and the sun is still shining bright. 85 degrees today was the high. And we just saw on the internet it's 104 in Sacramento today. So we're definitely going to be heading into heat tomorrow as we make the 260-mile drive from here to Winnemucca back to the High Desert RV Park. This tonight is our last real quote-unquote vacation night per se. Winnemucca, we were there 2 weeks ago, and of course Reno, Sparks, we were there also 2 weeks ago. So this pretty much is it. Now it's a matter just of getting home safe and traveling about 600 miles or so over the course of the next 3 days to get home to Sacramento on Tuesday. We had an somewhat interesting day today. We spent some time at the state capitol, took some pictures which I already posted. Pretty building. Very proud of their heritage here. A lot of old pictures on the walls there of previous sessions of the legislature and governors. I was pleased with the downtown area. Not very big here at all. Not crowded, not a lot of tall buildings. And all in all, Idaho seems like a nice state. We ended up having lunch at a Chili's next to Boise State football stadium. That's the stadium that has the Smurf-colored blue AstroTurf field, and so that was a novelty. And from there, we went to a Dillard's. Elena had never been in a Dillard's department store before. You don't see them in California, and so we spent some time in there. Nice. Similar to Nordstrom's, I would think, from what I saw in there. And then we stopped off at the Pastry Palace, or Pastry Paradise, whatever it was called. Wanted to buy the entire rack, but only bought a couple of things. And they're good. I wouldn't say great, but they're good. Perfection. I wouldn't call them perfect, but they're good enough and they'll do. So that's pretty much it from here. We went out to dinner tonight, had a nice dinner at Sherry's Diner, half a mile from here. And now, before the sun sets, I'm going to put the awning away and clean the grill of the truck, get the bugs off of it so that I can get more bugs on it tomorrow. And we'll get up early and make the long trek from here down to Winnemucca. And don't know how much more video I'll be posting after tonight. This probably will do it unless we stumble across something worth noting. So for my Facebook friends and family members who've been watching this, glad you enjoyed it. We sure did. And we're looking forward to our next vacation in 2013. So take care. Sunday, June 17th, Father's Day, 10:30 in the morning. We're exiting the Boise area. We left the RV park at 10:15. Headed on Interstate 84 going west. And we're going to pick up US Highway 95, I believe, and take that all the way down through Oregon into Winnemucca, Nevada. Uneventful morning, got up early, weather is good, cloud cover, keeping temperatures mild. Temperature today for the high in Winnemucca is supposed to be 99, and they're supposed to have 40-mile-an-hour winds late this afternoon and all night. So hopefully we will arrive there before the winds do. Idaho State Route 55 heading south, going through the Snake River Valley wine country region. And there's some farms and fruit orchards out here. Tells me that the climate is relatively mild for the area. Alright, it's 12 noon on Sunday. We're at the halfway point. We're at the US 95 cutoff with, I think, US 87. This road heading this way takes you up to Burns, Oregon, 93 miles away. We're still in Oregon, and we stopped off here for lunch. We're 129 miles from Winnemucca, and we've traveled about 128. It's warm, actually hot, it's in the 90s. That gas station doesn't even look like it's open, but it says it's open. Here's the start of the landscape. We're going to go in, grab a sandwich. Wind is blowing pleasantly, not gusting. And GPS says, after our lunch break, we hope to be in Winnemucca by 3 o'clock Pacific time. It's 1:45 in the afternoon. We've traveled 205 miles. Another 50 to go to Winnemucca. Weather is hot and the wind is blowing. Tumbleweeds, an occasional tumbleweed darts across the highway. Aside from that, the drive is pleasant. We're relatively flat, not a lot of traffic. US 95 south, not much scenery out there either. Clearly we're getting back into the desert regions. So it's, like I said, we should be at the Winnemucca campground, according to GPS, just before 2:45, if we make no other stops along the way. Quite a haul today. Monday, June 18th, the 21st day of the trip. Our second to the last day before returning home. We actually return home tomorrow. We left the Winnemucca High Desert RV Park at about 9:45 and are making our way now towards Sparks, to the Sparks Marina, which was our first stop on the trip exactly about 3 weeks ago tomorrow. The wind is heavy today. Red flag warning for fire. Steady 35 to 40 mile an hour sustained wind with gusts up to 60 later in the day, and we're driving right into it. They're coming out of the northwest and we're driving prominently west southwest, so I guess we're catching it more from the side than anything else. 150 miles to the Sparks Marina RV Park. We hope to be there by 12:30, 1 o'clock, depending on traffic, which right now appears light, and the weather. temperature in Winnemucca was 100 degrees yesterday. With this high wind we're having, Reno is only expected to be, I want to say 85. I can't remember if it was 85 or 88 degrees. But it's going to be windy there. But then it should calm down tomorrow, and it will be cooler tomorrow. Which means it will be cooler in Sacramento as well. So if there's anything more to report later in the day, we'll do so. Well, we're here at the rest stop at the US 95 and Interstate 80 junction. We've got about 65 miles to go to get to Sparks. Wind is blowing like hell. I can't video outside. There'd be no way you'd be able to hear anything except the wind. Wind's blowing about 40 to 50. Pretty rough out there, but we're making it. I've burned almost half a tank of gas to go 85 miles, so clearly we're fighting the wind the whole way over. And we should get to the RV park in Sparks, I'd say around 1:15, 1:30. Because of the high wind, the temperature's down a little bit. I'd say it's in the 80s. And I don't know what's coming off that area over there. It's not smoke. I don't know if it's dust or whatever it is. The wind is picking it up, whatever it may be. So anyhow, that's it. We'll be happy to get to Sparks and get out of this wind for a while. These guys here with the two babies, they don't even have to push the rockers. The wind is rocking them on their own. Well, as they say, all good things must come to an end. And vacation for this year is
Your lips are white.
coming to a reluctant end. Elena says my lips are white. Maybe it's the heart attack. Anyhow. Well, here we are, back where it all started. At the Sparks Marina RV Park. And again, there's not a drop of water to be found, nor a boat for that matter, but yet it's called Sparks Marina. Windy, windy, windy. Tough drive today from Winnemucca. We had headwind, crosswind all the way, 40 miles an hour, if not stronger. When we stopped for lunch at a rest area, the trailer was rocking back and forth. We were just sitting in here, not even moving, and the trailer was going, all kinds of directions. So it was really rough. Took 26 gallons of gas to go 165 miles. I haven't done the calculation. Get your hand out from the front of the camera. There are a lot of people watching these videos, Elena.
In your dream.
If we got 6 miles to the gallon today, it would be a miracle. Elena says I have delusions of grandeur if I think that there are people that actually watch these videos. But I know that you guys are out there. So anyhow, we're pretty much all done. We just came back from Olive Garden, had a nice dinner there, a very nice restaurant. Best Olive Garden I've been to. And we're going to get up in the morning and do our final cleanup and then make the 3-hour drive home back to Sacramento. We should be home by 2 o'clock. And chop it up for experience, I guess, and then start thinking about what we're going to do next year. I did have a few brief numbers, the summary numbers, that I had jotted down. I just have to find them now. We actually traveled a shorter distance this year than last year. We traveled with the trailer in tow. This includes tomorrow. 2,048 miles towing the trailer. I think last year's Utah trip we had just under 3,000 miles towing the trailer. And then we also had this year about 893 miles in side trips without the trailer, just driving around. I think Yellowstone took up a good chunk of that mileage. Just to go see the Golden Spike alone was 160 miles side trip. So that's where all that mileage came from. And we had a real good time. I hope everybody watching on Facebook also enjoyed it. I have a feeling many of you did. those of you that didn't, hopefully you figured out a way to automatically delete videos and pictures and just put them on the junk pile. But we had a good time. Again, the trailer performed excellently. No complaints there. 35 years old this year. Put up a picture yesterday of my dad sitting in this very chair for Father's Day, in memory of him, thinking of him, and of course, whenever we travel in this trailer, we think of my dad and my mom as well. So, anyhow, Elena's telling me I should have combed my hair. It's windy as hell out there, what can I tell you? The perils of being on the road. But I wish I was going for another week or so. Crater Lake, I got Crater Lake right here, but it's going to have to wait until next year. Elena, the ball and chain, dragging me back to Sacramento. So, Elena's saying I'm more than welcome to go by myself. Don't tempt me.
That's okay.
Anyhow.
Be tempted.
Buddy got a bath this afternoon, and he needed it, although I have to say that dog, there's something about that dog's fur, he never looks dirty. No matter how dirty he is, he always looks clean. But we got him cleaned up, and that's one less thing to do when we get home. So that's it for 2012. Sounds like in Sacramento, we're going to be, state workers are going to be working maybe 4 days a week perhaps. That means lots of 3-day weekends. That might mean for us more opportunities for little weekend trips. The next thing that we have planned for sure is in October, the Wally Byam Regional Rally in Bakersfield. I surely will be, I'll be taking my mother with me on that rally, and maybe that'll be the next one that you guys get pictures and video from. Anyhow, that's it from sunny and windy Sparks, Nevada. And now it's time to retreat back into the depths of obscurity, and you won't be hearing much from me on Facebook now for a while, but until next time, take care.
As you say, and everybody breathes a collective sigh of relief. We won't be hearing.
Tuesday, June 19th, we're here at rest area about 50 miles east of Sacramento, coming down out of the Sierras. And man, what a wild ride that was. The road is under construction. They have it narrowed down to 2 lanes, bumpy, narrow, people trying to pass you. And for about 10 miles there, man, it was like white knuckle. I was coming awful close, I felt, to the guardrail, but anyhow, I think we're going to get back safe and sound. So we're stopped here to take a stretch, give the dog a little bit of food, and then do the last hour back home. So weather's great, light wind, temperature's probably about 78 degrees. Can't ask for better weather. And the highways in California suck compared to other states. I mean, as soon as we crossed the Nevada line into California, you knew you were back in California because you're bouncing around on the damn highway. Anyhow, that is it.